Sonic News! A new show appears! It's super effective! I am SSF. Why? Pull my finger, please. Please? No? Screw you. I was polite. Ugh.
Welcome to SonicNews.
Live from the magnificent state of Virginia, here's your host, the news dude of Sonic Paradox, Sonic Sega Fan, 1991.
Sup? What's going on? I fucking hate Microsoft. Sup? So hi, it's SSF here for the Sonic News Show. Hi, hello to everyone watching out there at Sonic Paradox. It's the first Sonic News Show I've done in, how many weeks? It's been 2 weeks. Oh man, has there been shit going down. Oh my goodness, how much a span of just 2 weeks, just a week actually, just how much of a span 2 weeks went. Just 2 weeks ago I was, bitching about how much there was no news going on, and then this thing and the next thing, and then we get, X-boned, and, it's like, dude, this shit is awful. And Microsoft was like, yo, dude, I heard you like TV, so we put TV in your TV so you could have TV while you watch TV. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. And they were like, oh, it will make sense. And Connect will show you how it makes sense. So, what was going on? Oh, yeah, there was also Sonic News. Yeah, there was Sonic News as well. I also changed headphones in my own little personal world. There was headphones. There was Sonic Lost Worlds. There was stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about. One being a certain console, if I haven't made it obvious enough. That's coming up shortly. Oh, the rant I have for that. Oh, boy. If you guys hadn't seen that coverage stream I did of the reveal of that console, oh, boy, are you in for a treat. But yes, first things first, as is always the case when it comes to being on here, I always do the big Sonic news first before any, general video gaming news. In this case, was the unveiling of Sonic Lost Worlds, Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games. In other words, fucking Snow Everywhere #2. Snow Everywhere the sequel. I don't even fucking know. It's like the 4th freaking Olympics game we've gotten, and unfortunately, as much as people don't like those Olympic games, they sell, and I'd say Sega pulls a Nintendo in that case. And when you think about it, considering Mario is part of the franchise, the Olympic Games franchise, yeah, I do like the games though. I love the games. It's just I don't know if there's anything they can really add now to them. I think they've really covered every stretch of the events at this point, so seeing what they'll actually do for that game will be interesting, but that's something that we're probably not going to find out until a certain convention coming up in another month. This little convention called E3, which I should remind you, there's going to be more information about that much later in the show, so what else? What else was there? Yeah, there's gonna be some E3 news later on, but there's that. There's also Sonic Lost Worlds. For now, we've only gotten a couple of screenshots, really. Just a couple of pictures. One that was actually revealed during the Nintendo Direct that announced this game, and Mario Suck and all that, which was just a picture of a jigsaw puzzle. It's a very large jigsaw puzzle. I think it was like a 2,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. It's a very colorful puzzle, I gotta say. Yeah. Pretty much. No, there was also a picture of 6 new characters. 6 brand new characters that are apparently coming to Sonic Lost Worlds. I honestly think they're the Guardians, so we're going to be finding out what the 6 Guardians that are apparently going to be in this game are. And of course, everyone's reacting to, you could kind of say this is going to be a bit of a rant too when I think about it. So it's kind of 2 rants in the show. Maybe even 3 or 4. This is going to be a rant. I don't think I've had a rant-filled show like this in a while when I think about it. But anyway, needless to say, the fan reaction to all the Sonic Lost Worlds news, what's the way to put it? What's the way to put it? I think I know exactly what I think being the key word. I thought I had, yeah, I think I knew what I was gonna. No, I want him to get this going. No, I just need to remember what it was. Oh god, now Stasis is doing the whole one-shot thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting to that in a moment too, because I do have a little update on that. Kind of. I'm just trying to remember what it was. If I can find it. Oh yes, here it is. Pretty much my whole reaction to the impressions from the Sonic fan base. Pretty much my reaction was this. Pretty much. That's not the right one. Fuck. I swear I thought I saw this. Wait a moment. I will make this joke work. I swear to you this joke will work. Because I know exactly what to do and what to play here. No. No, no, no. I'm going to play this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I don't care if it's already gone down. I'm going to do this. Because I want it to be funny. This was it. This is basically what my reaction was. Sums things up, doesn't it? My reaction was pretty much blood-curdling screams, although it wasn't in that kind of a sense, but I'd swear this fan base sometimes. For one thing, and I guess you could kind of say this, people were hating on the game because it was only going to be on the Wii U. For one thing, it's not going to be on just the Wii U, people. It's going to be on the 3DS too. This is Sega we're talking about. They always port games, not just on the main consoles, but also on the handhelds too. They've done that for Colors. They've done that for Generations. They've done that for all the Olympic game titles. They love the handhelds. They've always loved the handhelds. This is nothing new, people. And yet you guys are saying that this is going to be Wii U exclusive. It's going to be Nintendo exclusive. Not Wii U exclusive, Nintendo exclusive. Which means it's not going to be on just the Wii U. It's going to be on the 3DS as well. Speaking of which, I have it right here next to me. Go figure. I don't know why I'm making note of that, but I don't care. It's going to be on the 3DS too, people. It's not going to be on just the Wii U. I don't know why this is that people have just this absolute hatred for the Wii U, but I'm hoping that a certain console reveal just recently come back, like, push that back. It's like, shut it, you know? It's not that big of a deal, people. You know, they've always had, there's been many games that have just been on Nintendo consoles. Many of them. There's no evidence at all that Dimps is developing this at all. It's nothing to worry about, you know. And I'm hearing people complaining about, oh, look, it's more, you know, when they saw the picture of the 6 Guardians and all that. Oh, man, it's more friends for Sonic Universe. And it's like, oh, my God, anything that is not Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and, you know, even Amy and Shadow, it's like, oh, my God, it's a fucking plague. You know, it's like, no, I don't give a shit about how many friends Sonic has. I don't give a shit about the amount of characters that are in this franchise. Guess who has just as many characters in their franchise? It's me, generic characters. It's not, of course they wouldn't have voices like that, but, you know, admit it, you know, these characters have fucking personalities. Sonic characters have personalities. The fucking Mario characters don't. Whenever Nintendo puts out a new character, they have no personality, no development, nothing. They're just there because they're there. It's just, come on, people. It's not that bad to have a new Sonic character. You could much rather have a generic Toad, or a generic Goomba, or a generic Koopa. You know, they do that. That's Nintendo. They give nothing personality, nothing character development, and they just slam these generic characters in every fucking game. And you're supposed to take that like it's because it's Mario. You could essentially say that for a lot of things in regards to that franchise. Because it's Mario. You know, whereas when a Sonic character gets created, you actually get personality with it. I mean, fuck, look at Yacker, you know, in Sonic Colors. He was just a freaking alien that they made him do all these things, you know, when Sonic and Tails were talking, you know. He was doing his own little thing. He actually had a bubbly personality. He was comical, you know. It's like they actually gave these characters, made them important, you know, and made them actually do shit, you know. Like Chip, for example. I mean, I don't get some of the hatred for Chip. It's like it turned out he was like Gaia. He's actually almost central to the plot. You know, he actually saves Sonic. He actually, you know, to a degree. It's like Chip actually does a lot of shit. He actually is central to the plot. You know, and it's like, for fuck's sake, you know, it's like there's no logic at all. You know, like, let me see, what's another good example? Hell, even Black Doom, as annoying as he was, and as stupid as his character was, he actually had a character. He actually had a personality of some kind, you know? Maybe not as much of a personality as the others, but they still gave him a bit of a personality, you know? But he was more of a, like, even Marine, you know? Marine was a new character. She had a fucking accent. You know, she had a fucking accent. She had an annoying personality. You know, she had her own. She did her own. Was her own character. You know, Blaze was her own character. Like, Sonic characters give off personality, something that Mario characters never fucking do. In 20 years of, you know, 25 or so years, 25, 30 years of Mario characters. And just the whole time Mario himself has been in these games, we hardly know anything about him. He's just this fucking plumber that goes around smoking on mushrooms and bangs a princess because the cake is a lie. That's all we get from Mario. And it's like, what the fuck is the point? You know, all these years of Mario, and that's all we freaking know about him. You know? It's like, what's the point? And with Sonic on the other hand, we've gotten so much development on him, you know? Not just from the games, but from the comics, you know? And it's like, it's beautiful, you know? It's like, yeah, Luigi has more development than Mario. You know, it's like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely, positively ridiculous. I do not understand the hate for characters. You know, I won't lie, some characters weren't done the best. You know, not gonna lie. I can't blame, you know, some people for not liking certain characters, because some characters are bad, but not in the bad in the sense that they don't have a personality, just bad in the sense that they're annoying as shit. But that's not in the case, you know, at least they're annoying, but actually they're annoying for reason, I guess. Like, and say with Amy, you know, she might have an annoying voice, but she's annoying for her voice. She's not annoying because she's just there, you know. There's differences, you know. It's a more valid reason to not like that character than, you know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm starting to confuse myself now. It's like, I don't mind Amy, but some people don't like her because of her voice now. It's like, you know, I can understand not liking her because of that, you know, because it's like, it's a good reason to not like her, you know, because you actually have something understandable to back it up, you know. Do I agree with that? No, because she's supposed to be annoying. I mean, she's a fucking fangirl, and hell, she annoys Sonic in the fucking games. She's supposed to be a bit annoying, you know. That's how she's supposed to be. And people don't think, oh, she's so fucking annoying. That's because she's supposed to be, people. You're not supposed to, you know, have a fetish for her or anything. That just means you're a pedophile. But no, you're not supposed to, you know, you're not supposed to like her when she's supposed to come off as annoying. That's the point, you know. You know, Marine, she's supposed to come off as annoying because she is supposed to be annoying. You know, that's the whole point. If they're annoying to you, then Sega's doing their job right. I'm being very blunt, you know, when I say there's good reasoning and bad reasoning, you know. But the good reasoning, I even as much as I disagree with that, it's better than just saying, oh, it's just another character. Fuck that, you know. It's like, you're just hating on the character just because it's another new character, you know. Yeah, the other than Luigi, the biggest character development we've had in a Mario game, other than Luigi, is I am Daisy, I am Daisy, I am Daisy. I am a long lost munchkin. Anyway, I'm really good at impressions, aren't I? But no, it's yeah. Anyway, it's really just who are you again? I'm Tails, your new sidekick. No? Okay. Rouge Spot. Pretty much, but yeah. In case you're wondering why, by the way, in case you're wondering why there's no music in the background, it's because I'm going to be too into these rants to even remember about it, so, yeah. But, there's not just that, but it's like, you know, people don't want to buy Sonic Lost Worlds on a Wii U. They don't want to get a Wii U. That's why they hate the exclusiveness, because they don't, which reminds me, Nintendo and Sega did announce an alliance between the two of them. The next 3 Sonic games will actually be on Nintendo consoles only. I should emphasize, it's only on the next 3. It's not going to be the next, it's not going to be forever. It's only going to be for the next 3, things. I have a Wii U. I have a 3DS. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I guess you could say why. I guess you could say, oh, that's why he's, Donnie's, not thinking this is a big deal because he already has the consoles, in the hand. But no, it's not that at all. It's like, I honestly would have felt like, I think this is the game that would have gotten me a Wii U if I hadn't had it already. Because, honestly, it's like, the reason why people didn't like the Wii U is not because of the fact that it's, yeah, it's a bit buggy. They fixed most of the bugs. Yeah, it's a bit slow. I am SSF921 on Nintendo Network, Casey. I didn't even know you had a Wii U either, but then again, they don't make it exactly easy to find people on the Wii U. So, but yeah, the Wii U does have some flaws. What else is fucking new? It's got bugs, but most of them I feel have been fixed. Is it slow? Somewhat. Not as slow as before. But it's, it's a bit slow. Big deal. It's nothing. It's not a fucking PC, guys. But, it's a Wii U. But, yeah, I'd say the speed has been a bit fixed too. I guess I could say that. But, the only thing the Wii U has now that it needs fixing are games. Guess what? Sonic Lost Worlds. Here you go. Here's your game. Where's your problem? You're getting your game now. Here you go. Happy birthday. Yeah, they're I'm not even forgetting Smash Bros, but it's like, here you go, guys. You're getting your game now. I mean, this is regards to the Sonic, Sonic franchise, Sonic community more specifically, because it's mostly the people that are making that kind of a thing. But how can you say that you're not going to get a Wii U because it sucks? Yet, the exact thing that's making it suck right now is being fixed with the game. The game's fixing what you have a problem with this console. That's keeping you from getting it. So, what's the problem now? Yeah, I mean, it's like, what's the point then? But, yeah. But, I think I've covered everything in that aspect. In any case, despite all the hell that went through the day all this news came out, we should be knowing more. We should be finding out more information on the 29th. How we're going to find out that information, I'm guessing we're going to find that out on the Sega blogs. From the way it's looking, Sega did say more information will be revealed on the 29th. Pretty much everywhere. So I think they're going to make it a universal thing on the 29th. Whatever they're going to be revealing, which is probably going to be it's probably going to be, a trailer. Will it be a very detailed trailer? No, but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to just tell us what we need to know. The basics. But I don't think we're going to be finding out too much. But it's like I said, I think we're going to be getting the lowdown. The basics. What the plot may be about. We'll see what the Guardians look like. I think we're going to find out maybe a general idea of a release date. I think we're going to find out some of the platforms. I think we're going to know all the basics, I don't think we're going to find out too much, but we're going to pretty much get the basics. needless to say, I think I am going to be covering that. I just don't know quite how yet. I think what I'm going to do is probably go live. I'm probably going to start broadcasting coverage at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on the 29th. Because Sega has been known 9 a.m. Eastern, by the way. That's 2 p.m. UK time. To cover the info that's going to be coming out. The reason being is that generally 9 a.m. is the earliest that Sega tends to unveil things. 9 a.m. Eastern Time is generally the earliest that Sega unveils things. How do I know this? When the teaser trailer for Sonic Generations came out, that first teased classic Sonic, that actually came out at 9 a.m. I really have an unusual memory, don't I? I remember the smallest things, but 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the earliest Sega tends to unveil things. So I'm going to be going live at exactly that time. And then probably going to be going for about 5 hours or so, you know, because for all I know, this info may not come out until early afternoon like before, like 1, 2 o'clock. They've done that more often as of recent, so you never know. But I'm not taking any chances, you know. But, needless to say, from 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I think it's going to be the coverage stream for Lost Worlds info on the 29th. So there you go. Now, believe it or not, that was only the first topic, guys. Yeah. Half an hour in, and I've only covered one topic. And it's probably going to take another half hour because guess what I gotta talk about next? Guess what I gotta fucking talk about next? That fucking console. Yes, the Xbox One. Oh my god. This fucking console. Once again, I think another... I think another thing would be very much... I think there's another thing that could summarize this whole thing in a nutshell, and that would be this. If it plays.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
I legitimately cannot have any more fucking hate for this piece of shit console than I do right now. I fucking hate this console. I'm sorry. I don't care. Even E3, I don't think is going to save this train wreck of a console. Words cannot express the amount of anger I have for this thing right now. Backwards compatibility is the least of my concerns. It's literally an inconvenient, forced upon, gimmicky, glitzy piece of fucking shit. It's a fucking piece of stupid shit. I really cannot put that more bluntly. This thing has so many things wrong with it that I cannot even begin to comprehend. from the always online DRM to the lack of backwards compatibility to the lack of ability to take your Xbox Live games that you have on your 360. You're not going to be able to take those and put them on the fucking Xbox One. They're pretty much camped and trapped on your own damn Xbox One. You spend hundreds and hundreds of Microsoft points, like possibly hundreds of dollars too, for nothing. Nothing. It's supposed to be a game console. People freaking got on Microsoft and joined, they got what they are today because of the games. Because it's a gaming industry. Not because of fucking TV fetishes. Not because of Netflix. Not because of trending Twitter shit. Not because of anything of that sort. They got into Microsoft, and bought their consoles because it's a gaming console. They want, like, the games. That's what people in this industry want. We're not freaking, if there's too many people... Yeah, another thing. If there's too many people in front of your Kinect, it shuts off. You can't have, it doesn't help. You have to have the fucking Kinect connected. No pun intended. Puns are the least of my concerns right now. You have to have, you have to have, a Kinect put on, you have to have it on. It's not so much that this thing has social media per se, it's the fact that they keep shoving it down our throats and make it seem like that's the only thing this fucking console has. When it's not. They make it as if this console's a fucking smartphone, or this freaking PDA, or this, iPad. It's not. It's nothing of that sort. It's all they're going for with this thing, and it pisses me off. And it's not even just the fact, hey guys, the TV's not going to work in overseas. It's only going to be in the US, We're going to put in Twitter trends because, we really could not get, we could literally need more of our Twitter fetishes. And, it's not like that's something important. I mean, a whole... Let me put it this way. On the dashboard's clunky. It's disorganized. It's a fucking Windows 8 menu. It's, it's... They put the freaking Twitter trending section above that. They're targeting a larger audience in the wrong way. It's like I said, to target it, they're not doing it in the right way. They tried targeting with the Kinect. Guess how that went? The Kinect is a stupid, unresponsive, buggy, crappy, overrated, at least with Microsoft, piece of shit. Has no games, no relevance, nothing. What are they gonna? So what did they do? Instead of actually putting it off and just letting it go, guess what? They force it down your throat even more. Oh boy, it's just so beautiful, isn't it? You get to have more Kinect, and it watches you while you fap, which means the end of the world for me. It's the fucking apocalypse. Did I say I fucking hate this console? But to the people that think, hey, things could get better at E3, it's ridiculous, and it's like, all right, Sam, here's where I draw the line. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy of anything. I own a PS3. I own a Wii U. I own a PS1. I own a PS2. I own a Wii. I own a GameCube. I own a bunch of Sega consoles. If you call me a fanboy, just saying, I'm probably the last person to be called a fanboy. I'm just saying. I'm just a guy that doesn't like it when shit is pushed down our throats. Especially shit that no one wants. No one wants this fucking Kinect. No one likes it. It's stupid to think that it's a freaking, you know, it's just stupid, you know. And it's not so much don't judge until you play it. It's like they've pretty much told us how it's gonna play. And it's gonna play like shit, essentially. You don't need to play it to understand that. You know, always online DRM. They actually told us that's gonna be in there. Of course, they've been bebopping around because they don't want to admit it now, because they see now everyone, you know, it's like it's like we see they've told us what the thing is going to have when you play it. So it's like, you know, it's gonna have always online DRM. It's gonna have Connect Force down our throats. You know, you don't need to play it to know this because guess who told us themselves? Microsoft. Microsoft told us all of this. The crowd wasn't even real at the conference. You know, nothing about that conference was real. You know, everything was faked. You know, there was nothing about it that was good. Nothing. Microsoft is trying to appeal to a certain market, but they're doing it in the worst ways. It's just this fucking console is like, you know, hey, it's being owned by Microsoft. You know, well, guess what? You know, it's in they're soft for a reason, because, you know, they need that Viagra, man. You know, I don't need the Viagra because I got a hard knock life, yo. Oh my god. But no, it's that was such a poor, dirty joke. But it's like it was stupid. You know, all it was sports, TV, sports, TV, 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 sports, 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 Call of Duty, 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 puppy. Call of Duty, 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 you know, Halo TV series that was announced at the worst place, Call of Duty, puppy, Call of Duty, sports, 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 TV, TV, connect, 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 connect. Yeah. But, this isn't even considered fact. I don't even like the name of this console. Xbox One. Okay, so you're referring to the original Xbox then. You know. Okay, so, yeah. It just seems to me like it's so stupid. But it's like, okay, E3, you know, okay, maybe E3 will be better, you know, it's, they'll have games there, supposedly. It's like, yeah, this is the same company that told us there would be hardware at the Xbox reveal conference. That certainly didn't happen, now did it? So how are we supposed to know they're going to show nothing but games? This is the same company that freaking gave us an Usher concert last year. This is not a company that stays true to their word. They lie a lot. They go back on their word a lot. They don't, you know... Do I say that everything's confirmed? I'd say pretty much everything is confirmed by now. Like I said, everything we know about this thing has pretty much come from Microsoft. and it's from the people that made the damn consoles. I'd say that pretty much everything is confirmed at this point. They're not backtracking on everything. I think it's just they're just being, think about the whole used games and all that, which is just yet another freaking, it's yet another thing I see wrong with this thing, and the always online thing was a little bit buggy, but those are the only two things they've really gone back and forth a bit about. The other stuff, they pretty much said this is going to happen, and I'd say it's official by now. But it's ridiculous. It really is. It's like, again, Sam, it's something that Microsoft's trying to do. Emphasis on trying. That doesn't mean it's being executed well. Just because they're trying it does not mean it's going well for them right now. And the used games thing is not... Does Steam make you buy a used game for full price? No, they don't. They tie it... They tie it to your account and not your PC. So essentially, you could log on to... If you got a different computer, logged onto your account from Steam, you basically have all the games you got, which is fine. That's convenient. But the way Microsoft does it is that if you have a used game already, you literally have to log it into... Even the games you buy, you actually have to activate them online to do so, instead of just simply downloading the game. And not to mention, there are discounts all the time. They're not always in full price anyway. Steam is a lot more lenient when it comes to that. In terms of Microsoft, which is just... They don't give a shit, There's just... It's apples and oranges, per se. It's like Microsoft is in the neighborhood, but not in the right house. That's the problem with this console. They're doing a lot of things they're trying, but they're just fucking up immensely on. It doesn't make any sense. This fucking console has so much wrong with it that I don't even think even games can save it at this point. I'm sorry, but even if they announced like this crazy ass game that no one expected and want, it's not gonna want me to get the console. It's like this console is too much wrong with it. There's too much wrong with the console for one little thing that's right, It's like, who's to say the Xbox won't have a vast amount of digital sales? That's not the point, though. That's not the point. Is not that the Xbox One will sell. It's the point that the thing is just stupid. It's stupid. And judging from the vast backlash I've heard against this thing, I don't think it's gonna sell too well. I'm being very honest. I have not heard anything positive about this console, and it's ridiculous. It's so... I have not seen backlash against a console, this much backlash ever. This is bar none the most negative response I've ever seen. And it's not just about the backwards compatibility. The backwards compatibility is the least of my concerns, But this console has bar none the biggest backlash I've ever seen. Yeah, the Wii U has gotten some backlash, but nothing on the scale of this. The PS3, I don't even think got this much backlash. I wasn't around for when I was alive when the Saturn came out. Yes, I know about the Saturn's backlash, but I don't remember anything about the Saturn when it came out. I didn't have a Saturn, I didn't even know it existed. I don't know anything about that. So in my recent memory, and in the years I've been a video gamer, and in terms of actually been following games, the Xbox One is bar none the biggest train wreck, has had the biggest train wreck of a conference, and the biggest community backlash I've ever seen in my memory. Do I consider it, the biggest backlash? I'd say the Saturn comes close, but I think the Xbox One has probably just about trump that. admittingly, the Saturn got a lot of backlash because of only one thing. You know, it was only really one thing that people went after the Saturn for, and that was, you know, the surprise release. The Xbox One, on the other hand, there's just been reason after reason after reason after reason. Like I said, it's not just about backwards compatibility. You know, if they put in backwards compatibility later on, okay then. You know, if they fix some of these things over the course of the console's lifetime, okay then maybe I'll get a console down the line. But it's not going to help them if they're releasing a console and they get positively nothing. You know, and nothing but hatred. And who's to say that this backlash isn't going to hurt them down the line anyway? You know, let me put it this way. Sega put out the Saturn and got a lot of backlash over the time it was there. They never got that backlash back, even when they started releasing good games and stuff like that. You know, they put the Dreamcast out, they still had backlash. They still didn't have what they had. Just because they start fixing things over time doesn't mean the backlash isn't going to go away. Because it's like, it's too late now, you know. They could have done this a lot sooner. They had the time. The console wasn't out yet, you know. They may fix it later on. I mean, hell, Xbox 360 had backwards compatibility later on. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox One had the same. But the thing is that will it be too late? You know, will they put it out too late that people don't even care at that point? You know, it's like, it's just they've taken so long to even think about it. It's like, what's, you know, people's like, yeah, okay, whatever, about time. But it's like they've moved on at that point. You know, there's just nothing. Even if Microsoft does start fixing all this stuff, I just feel like by then, if it takes them too long, no one's gonna even care. They'll have moved on. You know, I don't know. That's just an idea. It's a theory. I'm not saying it's official, but considering how with Sega, they had pretty much that exact problem where they fucked up the Saturn, and they gradually tried to fix things, but they were too late in fixing it, and people just moved on, you know, and just said, you know what, they just, you know, it's just, that's just me. E3, when it comes down to it, I really hate this console. Not liking it right now. And E3 is pretty much Microsoft's last chance to just say, hey, we're sorry, you know, about this previous conference. We're taking back everything, you know, that we're taking back what was bad, you know, fixing things. And, you know, we're sorry that the conference didn't go the way that, you know, they really, you know, the conference didn't go as planned, you know. It was, you know, there's a lot of faking in there, you know. They lied, like I said. They said that they were going to show hardware. They didn't really show hardware. They essentially said the main focus of the conference was the hardware. Pretty much. And that's exactly the opposite of what we got. Sports and TV is not hardware. You know, a Call of Duty dog is not well, it's kind of hardware, but not at the same time. But they said plain and simple, there wouldn't be that much games. Okay, I wasn't expecting that many games. I'm not surprised at that. That's not the problem I had with. The problem I had with was that they pretty much didn't even talk about the hardware either, even though they said that's exactly what they were gonna do. They said that pretty much the bulk of the conference was going to be the hardware, and they did not do that. And it's stupid. It's like they lied, and they pretty much, you know, there was a lot of fake applause, being that all the crowd cheering was actually apparently Microsoft employees. Apparently, I was reading up that apparently the responsiveness that Connect 2 had was pretty much not real time. Pretty much everything was faked. And even they didn't even reveal what they should have revealed during the conference. And what they did reveal, like, they just didn't handle it the way they could, and that's what I'm getting at. I think Microsoft, come E3, say, we're sorry that this happened. We should have been more clear with what was going on. We said we would show the hardware. We're sorry we didn't show that. So here you go. Here's what we're going to be doing. And and more than likely going to be showing the game, some kind of games. How many? I don't know. But they said they were going to show the games at E3, and you better believe I'm damn well going to not be too happy if it turns out they went against their word again and said, and then they just put out a bunch of more entertainment stuff. I just can't trust Microsoft with shit. I just can't trust them. And that's, where the problem lies. And that's why, I just hope Microsoft stays true to their word and shows off the games. Because, like I said, Shadow, they said that was going to be the focus of the conference, not for 2 minutes. 5 minutes of the conference. 5 minutes of the conference was the hardware, where they said it was supposed to be the majority of the conference. That was supposed to be the focus of the conference, was the hardware, not 5 minutes of it. Yes, they did show it off, but not for as long as they said they were going to show it off. That's where I'm getting at. There was some hardware showed off, but not as much as they said they were going to show it off. Sony didn't even show their console, but they didn't add bullshit like, TV. They wasn't the focus. They actually showed some games, not a whole lot, but enough to kind of give us an idea. They don't have to show us like 1 trillion games. I'm not expecting that. I was expecting maybe 2 or 3 games. We didn't even get that. We really didn't even get that, And it's like that's what matters to me. It's like the games are gonna be great, but I still wonder, it's to me, it's like games are great. Games are really important, but a console being good, the console itself needs to be good too. The games and the console need to be good for for golden magic to happen. For a big seller. The Wii had that with the motion controls and all that, and Wii Sports. Boom! That thing just sold a bunch. It doesn't take much for a console to sell, admittingly. But with how much just negativity this console has right now, whether it be from the backlash it has, the negative press, or just simply what this console actually has, this thing does not have. There's nothing good about this console right now. Even if you like the console, you can't say you like the reception of it is good right now, because it isn't. The reception is poor right now. No one really likes it. It's as great as the games can be. You need to have a good the console needs to be good too. And right now, the console does not seem good to me. And in fact, there's really nothing about this console that sounds good to me right now. And literally, it's going to take a change of plans at E3 to kind of sway me back towards them again, towards their direction again. That's just me, It's going to. I honestly don't even know if the games are going to be enough at this point. I honestly don't even know. It will highly depend on what they say for this console from here on out. Right now, it seems like with every passing minute, I just hear more and more bad news about this thing. It just sounds to me like this thing's just not getting anywhere. I just don't. I want to remain hopeful, but I'm not getting You know, I just don't. I just recall how Microsoft is when it comes to their E3 conferences. The last 3 years have just been shit for Microsoft, and if they suddenly turn around, then great. You know, I'm gonna be proud of them. They actually got their act together. But it's gonna be, that's something I'm not expecting. You know, but if they do, they do. If they don't, you know, shocker. But if they actually do get their act together, then great. But right now, I'm trying to remain hopeful, but not too hopeful. You know, at the same time, because you know, it's Microsoft. But anyway, as I expected, I knew I would dwell on pretty long time about this. It's like I knew I would dwell about this Xbox One a lot. It's just, my God, the community is so up in arms over this thing, and who can blame them? It's not really. It's, you know, there's an absolute war going on right now. I can't really. E3 is gonna be something. It's gonna be something. I'm really gonna be, you know, intrigued to see what happens. But that's gonna be something. I'm keeping a lot of my E3 opinions for the E3 coverage coming up in a week and a half. So, needless to say, the E3 hype is on the way. You know, it's probably already here. Actually, I think people just want fucking E3 to happen right now. Honestly, I think that's all people want, is for this month to be done with and to get on with June, so we can get to E3 and just get shit dealt with. You know, but that's just me. You know. But E3 is going to be, it's going to be interesting. I'm really, really intrigued to see how it goes. But needless to say, boy, did I rant. You know, I've been ranting a lot. And I'm not even done ranting yet. You know, there's still one more rant left. But I'd say it's more of a mini rant, per se. But, yeah, E3 is just, it's like I said, E3 isn't something that people want to happen. They also need, I think we need it to happen, because there's just so much shit going down, and we just want this, I think we just want this dealt with and over with. We just, you know, I honestly feel like the time has come where this shit needs to be dealt with, and, you know, so we actually know, and it's crazy, but yeah, enough about the Xbox One. I'm gonna be, you know, like I said, E3 coverage, week and a half. You know, I'll start getting into a lot more details, and not to mention the Sonic News show is gonna. Well, I'll get to that in the show, because technically that's kind of a topic. But yeah, because I do have some Sonic News show related updates to reveal. So, yeah. But also, apparently Sega's stock prices have actually hit a 6.5-year high recently. The highest Sega stocks have actually been at the highest, Sega Sammy, per se, but they've actually hit the highest in 6.5 years. Yes. 6.5 years. It's it's going to be crazy. It's definitely looking to be probably the biggest E3 in quite a few years, since the year of the since the E3 that officially, since the E3 Wii U coming out party. I think that was the last E3 that people were really hyped up about on the scale, and I think it's getting to the point where I think it may be even trumping that at this point. So, But yeah. But yeah, Sega's stock prices have hit a 6.5-year high. I'm really proud of Sega for that. It's really looking like things are slowly beginning to turn around in terms of their money situation, but I think that's not for Sega themselves, but Sega Sammy, Sega has a lot of money in reserve with Sega Sammy, so I think they're in good shape. It's just, why are they still closing their divisions, and laying off people? It doesn't make sense. But that, and on a suddenly good note, we go to a suddenly bad note. Apparently the Archie Penders fight lawsuit thing has gotten so bad that apparently Sega themselves are now having to jump in and help resolve this. And I had this feeling that sooner or later Sega would probably have to do something like this. Not exactly too pleased that, it's a sign that things are just not... This thing is heating up, but yeah. But we also do have a sales status on all of the main games. Sega did put out, within this past year, the fiscal year 2013 results have come in. Here's the following. Here's what we had heard. All Stars Racing Transformed has gotten had sold 1.36 million copies worldwide. Aliens Colonial Marines had sold 1.31 million copies worldwide. Football Manager 2013 has sold 930,000 copies worldwide. And Yakuza 5 has sold 590,000 copies worldwide. So, needless to say, that's not bad, I don't think people were expecting that much sales for All Stars Racing Transformed. So, I think, I think it was... Why do I think the game sold? Because it's a good game. I think the spread of word helped. I think the spread of word kind of helped it out. Not to mention, I think the occasional commercials that Sega aired. I think that was all that really... I can't help but wonder what would have happened if the word of mouth, didn't happen or anything like that. But I think those two are probably the main reasons why Transform sold as much as it did. Also, update on All Stars Racing Transform DLC. They're still working on it, pretty much. Now here's where I get to the next and final little rant of the show before I'm going to start speeding through this. Sonic 1 has been announced for the 3DS. Nothing really new for that. But Sonic 1, the mobile version of Sonic 1 is out. I really don't care. I'm sorry, but I just can't care about this thing until it comes out on a console. Until it comes out on a console, I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm being very blunt. I mean, yeah, it's got some good stuff in it. It is. I will admit, it's a good port, but it's on a port. It's technically on a non-gaming platform and not on console, so I don't give a shit. It's like I said. I don't care about mobile gaming. It's not actual video gaming. So, it's not actual video gaming. Why it's being counted as actual video gaming, I don't know. But it's not actual video gaming to me. It's mobile gaming, not video gaming. It should be considered an entirely different, thing. But do I consider, from what I've heard about the port, it's not bad, it's a good port. It's just, I really don't give a shit about it because I just don't have a phone. I don't care about iPhones. I don't, that's just how I am. Yes, because mobile games don't have video. You know, that doesn't even make. Yeah, that's like saying that's like saying that, hey, you could stand on a platform in Call of Duty, so it must be a platformer. That's, that doesn't even make sense. That's not how it works that way. Video gaming is gaming that's on consoles, actual gaming consoles, consoles that things that are actually made for gaming. Um, you know, um, it's that's just how I am. I don't want an iPad. I don't want an iPhone. I just want a regular, you know, I just want a regular cell phone. Because guess what? Guess what it is? They're cell phones in the long run. And guess what you use them for? You use them to talk to people. Um, you use them to call people. That's it. That's really all I need my phone for. And guess what? That's exactly why I would get a cell phone for. Not to play games. Because I have video game consoles for that. And a PC for that. Twitter. I have a computer for that. Hell, my 3DS has Twitter on it. I can log on to Twitter on here and tweet from there. Some of the pictures I put up on my Facebook, are from the 3DS. This is all I need for any portable thing. And I hardly even use that because most of my Facebook surfing and my Twitter surfing is on my own computer. The bulk of it is. I'd say 95% of what I do with Facebook and Twitter is on my PC, and maybe 4 or 5% of it is on my freaking 3DS. Maybe I wouldn't even say maybe 1%. I don't use it that often. So it's like if I lost it on there, I wouldn't even care, But that's the thing, though. They're not handhelds. They're not handheld video game consoles by any stretch of the imagination. And they're smart. Wow, smart. I don't even get the whole smartphone labeling. They're not smart. They're just phones. Honestly, they've gotten to the point where they're not even phones anymore. They're PDAs. They're little mini iPads. That's all they are. And it's like they just get a freaking laptop. It's like the laptop can do the exact same thing. The laptops can do all. There's so many alternatives to this thing, that you can get. Laptops do the exact same things smartphones do, and you don't need to constantly obsess over them as much as I've seen quite a bit of obsessing, take place. I think that's the main thing that's turned me off of these things, is that they're just overrated. They just get shoved down my throat all the time. It's because a phone, all I need is all I'm going to need to talk to people. You can just pretty much do everything you need in certain technology. It's like everything. I already have everything I need. I've had everything I needed for years now. Why would I suddenly dump all of what I already own? Like, I'm not going to completely ditch thousands of dollars for this dinky little smartphone. That's not even really smart because they're small and fragile. They're apparently from what I can hear, and you can hack into them, and I've heard viruses coming off of them too. At one point, that you could even get a virus on those. It's just $1,000 being TV. Combined $1,000 from combined technology, from gaming consoles, TV, laptop, phone. I'm not gonna waste all of that for this little smartphone that can easily just get fucked up from being sat on. There's just no point. I have no reason to get one. I have no interest in it, and I really just don't care. I just don't like them. I mean, and when I just see them all over the fucking place, it's one of those fads going around that you just want to see die, I guess. The best way to compare it to, what's the best thing to compare it to? What's the thing to compare it to? I'm trying to think of a fad that was just shoved down, like, that was just everywhere. And it's like you couldn't escape it. You know, it's like one of those little fads that just doesn't go away. You hear it all the time, and it's like everyone's freaking life is that's the thing to me. It's like everyone's life is dependent on those phones. It's like I don't need an iPhone. I've been able to, I grew up in the 90s. Did we have phones then? No. I don't need a smartphone, you know, like I said, you know. It's like I never needed one, and I still don't. So I'm just, you know, I'm not going to get one. Do I consider those things good anyway? No. I think they're stupid, but, you know, I don't need an iPhone. You know, I grew up in the 90s with primitive technology and internet, and, you know, I had all these primitive gaming consoles and all this primitive stuff. You know, that's the thing. It's like they just have bad influences too, you know. I mean, it's complicated, you know. But anyway, this has gone from like, but it's like I said, you know, Sonic 1 on the iOS, you know, it's not a bad port. You know, I'm not gonna lie, they did a good job with that version of Sonic 1. You know, in terms of the game itself, I just wish it was on more than a damn iOS, because, you know, I'm sick of everything being iOS only. That's just me. But yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like I am a casual gamer. I won't lie. I'm a casual gamer. I sometimes play things for only like 30 minutes. You know, I'm a very casual gamer. I don't, you know, I don't generally play games for long periods of time, except if I'm really interested in a game. Like, like in the case of Brawl, I played Brawl for 12 hours straight when I first got it. You know, the day it came out. So it's like, you know, it's just I don't. If I'm gonna do a casual gaming, I do that on a video game. You know, that's just me. It's a video game. You know, it's like it doesn't matter how much I hate it, though. It's like, you know, it's going to be there still because, you know, fuck it, if things go my way for once, and, you know, I don't. It's not the fact that technology is. I'm not hating on the fact that technology is marching on, advancing. I'm hating on the fact that the way they've set this thing up, you know, the way this phone is, and all the bad influences, and the way they're reacting to this thing. It's just, it's like the fucking coming of Christ, I swear. But it's kind of favored to be casual, but like I said, it shouldn't even, you know, it should be considered completely different from video gaming as a whole, to be honest. But anyway, it should be an entirely different market. It should be an entirely different, you know, thing. That's why I think there's another reason why I just hate the freaking entertainment value in consoles. You know, not just because of the fact they're being shoved down our throats, but it's like, great, now I got all this iPhone shit coming to this too. You know, it's like, that's not what these things were made for. That's not why people got into gaming consoles in the first place. For smartphone, iPhone shit. They got it into it because of games. You know, that's all there is to it. You know, that, at least that's my opinion. But honestly, but anyway, I've dwelled on long enough about this. Oh boy, it's been one of those shows, ain't it, where it's just been a bunch of ranting and raving and whining and moaning and this thing and the next thing and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Sonic Game Gear 3DS games are coming to the eShop. Big deal. I already have all the Game Gear games personally, and no need to own those again. And you know, I technically own them on the on Sonic Adventure DX as well, and Gems Collection, and, you know, them. But yeah, so yeah, so having it on 3DS, blah. But Crush 40 will be performing at the Japan Game Music Festival. That's kick-ass. It's really nice to see that Crush 40 is doing a lot more concerts now. I noticed that since Summer Sonic 2010, they've actually been doing a lot more concerts, and I really like that. You know, they're going around performing, so they're actually becoming. I want to kind of say they've actually becoming kind of their own thing. I've noticed that they've still associated themselves with Sega, but at the same time they don't mind going off and branching out every now and then. You know. But it really is nice to see that Crush 40 is doing their own thing at the same time as kind of associating themselves with Sonic, you know. They're not forgetting what tipped them off. You know, that's exactly what I'm getting at. You know, they're not forgetting what got them where they are today, but at the same time they're also doing their own thing as well, you know. They're doing a good balancing of, you know, they're balancing, you know, everything, and that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm trying to point at, you know. But yeah, I really like how Crush 40 is doing their own thing, but at the same time remembering, hey, we do stuff for Sonic, you know, we do stuff for Sega and Sonic. So yeah. But now we get to the E3 portion of the show. In case you haven't noticed, I've really been kind of speeding things up a little bit because, you know, it's most of the stuff now is we're getting to the point now where most of the stuff isn't really worth yapping about. So, but latest news, we got news on Konami is going to be having a conference on June 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I know Nintendo has announced that they're going to be doing a Nintendo Direct on the 11th of June at 10 a.m., I believe. I know Square Enix, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Square Enix. They're going to be doing a little series of videos at E3 while the doors are open at E3. So everyone seems to be doing. There's quite a bit of live stuff going on. You know, a lot of people are celebrating E3 this year, more than I expected. So, needless to say, yeah, they're doing two things on June 11th. But I mean, like, I already announced when the first one's going to happen, I believe. Like the Wii U software showcase. I think everyone already knew about that by now. But the, you know, Nintendo Direct, they didn't know just yet. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm all ranted out too. That's my SonicNews show stuff, by the way. I completely forgot to fix that, sort that out. But yeah, my initial thing was like, I didn't expect to see this much happen with E3. You know, even for E3, you know, I didn't expect Square Enix to do their thing. I didn't expect, you know, Konami to do something. I kind of expected Konami to do something, but not when they did it. So I ended up having to add yet another day. It's like, I don't think anything's gonna be final now until sometime at the end of this week. But I think I've officially decided when this is going to occur. I now have a total of 65 hours of E3 coverage. When originally I only had like maybe 50 or so hours before. But I've had to add like a good half a day or so of coverage because of all the new stuff that's been unveiled since I started, you know, constructing the schedule. You know, and it's ridiculous. It's like, but yeah, here you go. This is everything. This is all we know now, right now, in regards to live stuff. You know, right there. Konami, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony, two things from Nintendo, and Square Enix. This is everything. You can see why I'm, you know, having to add so much stuff. But yep. This is where the E3 this is why the E3 coverage is starting on June 6th, right there. That's the only reason why. And there's the coverage right there itself. But I'll be getting into that more. I guess I can start covering it, but it'll largely depend on if there's a SonicNews show next week, which I don't know at this time. It could happen, it could not happen. We'll have to see. It really, I think we were probably going to have a Sonic News show because I know Sega's going to have news coming out on the 29th. So, needless to say, I think it's very possible the Sonic News show is going to be on next Sunday. So, it's going to be a lot of stuff happening on conference day on the 10th. So, needless to say, now's the point. I've officially, as you can tell, I've actually added some more hours to E3 itself. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a long E3. It's gonna be fun though at the same time. It's gonna be interesting to see how everything carries out. Everyone seems to love my E3 coverage. I'm the only Sonic Paradox is the only site that does anything on the scale. I mean, TSSC, the Sonic community tends to kind of do a little bit of E3 coverage, but only in the way of the occasional articles about anything huge. And it's mostly Sonic and Sega stuff, but when it comes to Sonic Paradox, on the other hand, mostly because of me, I tend to branch out and do E3 as a whole. Although I will be having a bit of an emphasis on Sonic and Sega news, so needless to say, it's going to be interesting. But yes, there's that. We now know officially it's it's the only the only thing I hate about the E3 coverage is no one really promotes it. It's not I'm literally doing all the promotion. No one's really doing that. At the same time, it's like I don't really have any articles to spread the word. I'm gonna have to do that this week. Start getting the word out that Sonic Paradox is gonna be covering E3 live. I'm gonna have to do that myself and get the word out. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. So that's the thing, is I don't really know how to get the word across. So that's the thing I have. It's like, as great as the coverage is, I feel like it could probably get a lot more promotion. I can't do this alone. So by all means, if you guys want to make an article, if you guys want to make an article about it, go right on ahead. I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with that at all. Like I said, I will be covering Sega news especially. So there will be, E3 will be covered as a whole, but I will be spending time with Sega and Sonic. And speaking of which, here's where my little special E3 coverage announcement comes in, because I actually do have an E3 coverage announcement that will be taking place leading up to it. If you guys noticed if you guys saw the little thing about the montage thing, you guys might have seen Sega at E3 montage. That's going to be a little special two-parter feature that I'm going to be doing during the road leading up to E3. On the 7th and the 8th, will be part 1 and part 2 of a series of montage and series of videos highlighting the past nearly 15 years of Sega antics and stuff at E3. Some of it will be trailers, some of it will be actual things Sega held there. Some of it will actually be tours of their booths over the years, mostly as of recent though. Some of it will be special console demos. I'm going all out for this thing. It's basically going to be a nice little feature detailing what Sega has been doing throughout the past 15 years. And 20, I'm one step ahead of you. One step ahead of you. I already have it. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to actually show you guys a preview. That's Twitter, by the way. I'm actually going to show you guys a preview of everything I have in terms of, this is everything I'm going to be showing in terms of the montage. I'm only going to give you the titles and that I have bookmarked. I said I'm one step ahead of you. Because look at this. This is all I have right now. This is everything. All this right here is what you'll be seeing during the montage. All this right here. This is literally there is so much stuff from E3 1995 all the way up to last year. Basically, at the same time, it's the detail. It's just kind of showcase. By the way, that's how I say hi to my newscaster thing that I use for the show. It's going to be a nice nostalgia trip for one thing. But another thing it's going to detail is just to show exactly how Sega was at E3 past years. Exactly how they ended up where they were today because of E3. That's me downsizing my browser. But needless to say, it's going to be interesting. It's going to showcase pretty much all the highlights of Sega's E3s. Although I think there's only 1 year. I think there was a year or two that I couldn't actually get any content for. So, because Sega didn't really have anything for that year. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'm probably going to see about making that something for Radio Sega Media. Making a Sega, like having a Sega at E3, montage. I'll probably take that and make that something, a little feature for what is it, Radio Sega Media. Speaking of Radio Sega Media, yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to send the Sega at E3 montages of Radio Sega Media, more than likely. Both parts. They'll probably be in part 1 and part 2. It'll be beautiful, so... But yeah, speaking of Radio Sega Media, the SonicNews show is now on Radio Sega Media in its entirety. Although it's being uploaded like once per day as of now, because I kind of M20 and I kind of flooded the site and kind of spammed it a bit. We meant to do that, but we, it was totally accidental. But yeah. Yeah, the SonicNews show is now effectively on Radio Sega Media, and I can now officially say that I can now upload this show to Radio Sega Media within a day. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to get to making the draft for this to be on Radio Sega Media. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, though. Tonight, you guys are going to be able to see it on YouTube. Tomorrow, it'll be Radio Sega Media's turn. But, Chaos Blue, I will say this much. It was only at the start. I uploaded... See, what happened was... There was a test run to see how things would go with Radio Sega Media, and everyone really wanted that bum edition, the original bum edition of the SonicNews show to go up. So I uploaded that. I didn't upload the original because I had to work on the original. I couldn't really do that. I had to do some tweaking, which I've since done. But at the time, it was more inconvenient back then, so I went and uploaded the Bum Radio Edition one, which everyone wanted. Like I said, it was a must-have. And that one is the only one out of place. From then on out, though, I've been uploading, episode after every episode that's been uploaded since has been, chronologically on air date. And you'll notice in the in the description it'll say from this date. That means that's when the episode aired. Like that's when I actually broadcasted it. I did the show live. That episode live. Yeah, every episode is based on when that episode aired live. Like right now, this episode being broadcasted right now. May 26th. Well, in the description of it, it'll say from May 26th. pretty much. That's essentially what the order is. It's in chronological order. It's just, you know, I didn't make that clear, you know, but that's essentially what the dates are. The dates are when the episodes originally came about and were aired live. So I just include those so people get an idea of, you know, the time, you know, the situation at that time. Like, you know, like say Xbox One, you know, this is the time where we didn't know about E3, and Xbox One would end up being like this at E3, you know, etc., etc. It's to kind of, you know, set the, you know, to provide a setting of sorts, and also for a historical record. But yeah. But anyway, speaking of the Sonic News Show, and speaking of E3, if indeed there isn't enough to talk about for the Sonic News Show next week, there will no doubt about it be a Sonic News Show the weekend afterwards, because yep, every Sonic News Show will be uploaded to Radio Sega Media on Mondays. So on Sunday nights, after usually within a few hours after this episode, you know, that Sonic News Show had concluded live, it'll get posted on YouTube, because it really doesn't take that long to put up on there. Tomorrow on Mondays will be when the show will be put up on Radio Sega Media, because that takes another entirely different process altogether. You know, I have to rip the audio out of the episode. You know, I gotta upload it to the Radio Sega Media FTP server. You know, etc., etc. And then I also have to make the you know, the post for it. And then M20 has to do the honors and help me, you know, tweak the page for any errors, and he also has to get the download ID too. So that way you guys can actually download the Sonic News shows, because that's something Radio Sega has that YouTube doesn't, is that you'll actually be able to download the Sonic News shows in MP3 form for listening on whatever. So, yeah, take note of that. I may hate mobile devices, but I still provide support for them on Radio Sega Media. Take note of that. That's just how much I like my fans. As much as I hate the iPhones and all them, I still make it so you guys can listen to my show on them. Just saying. I should note that. But yes, there's that. But the Sonic News Show pre-E3 show, the pre-E3 special, will be on June 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Provided if there isn't a show next Sunday, the pre-E3 show will be the one happening next, which will be 2 weeks from now. So, needless to say, that'll be pretty much the lowdown on, you know, that'll be the big. I'm not going to be showing anything in terms of media on that day. It'll be going up on Radio Sega Media. It'll be going up on YouTube. You know, the Sonic News shows will be the only things that'll be going up. The only E3 related thing, you know, E3 coverage things that'll be going up on YouTube. What is it? Radio Sega, on the other hand, Radio Sega Media, more than likely, I'm going to talk to Fast Feet and see if he's fine with this, but I'm going to see if he's actually wanting the montage of Sega at E3 parts to upload onto the site. I might be able to do that myself if he's fine with it, but you know, more than likely he's going to want to do it himself, so I'm going to see about getting that up to see if he's wants to do that, and if he does, I'll make sure that, you know, rip those parts out and send it to him. So, but yes, there's that. You know, the Sonic News Show pre-E3 special, June 9th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Pretty much I'm going to be giving the lowdown on what I think about, you know, what will happen with this E3 and what I want to happen in this E3, and, you know, this thing and the next thing, pretty much the lowdown, you know. And then the week later, you know, to cap off, you know, to officially end the E3 coverage, will be the post E3 show of the Sonic News show, and that will be, you know, at the same exact time, June 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and like I said, 11 p.m. UK time for you British people. But that will pretty much detail everything that happened at E3, pretty much all the big stuff that was told, you know, all the Sonic and Sega news that came out from E3, you know, and that'll be the official, like, you know, curtain call of the E3 coverage. And then after that, it's pretty much going to be looking towards Sonic Boom, and if that happens, and Summer Sonic. You know, the attention dwells off of E3, and the next thing on the list will be Summer Sonic, and if it happens, Sonic Boom. So we'll see. But for now, that's everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed this rather emotional Sonic News show. Needless to say, I had one job, and that one job was done. One job, one job, one job, one job, one job, one job. But no, actually, I forgot to mention this, but I did actually find out, I did actually look at my recording of the recordings that I got of the conference coverage, and I can officially confirm that yes, my recording did actually pick up the one job echoing. And needless to say, I busted out laughing and couldn't breathe, and lost all my and just cried in laughter. But yes, I did actually manage to capture the one job moment. I've actually sent it to Mac. He's gonna see about dealing with that, but from what happens from there beats me. But just, you guys are now aware that yes, that one job echo was caught in my recording. So, but yes, with that in mind, I will see you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened next week, honestly. I think I will probably see you guys next week, because there's going to be quite a bit of Sega news coming out with Sonic Lost Worlds info being coming out in on the 29th. So I think we will probably have a show. I wouldn't be surprised. This is probably the first time I can officially say that the odds of a show happening is actually not that low. It's actually looking pretty good, you know. I think there will probably be quite a bit to talk about in terms of you know, Sonic. And if, you know, if there isn't, I probably will just save that show for just, you know, those topics. You know, I'll probably make an exception about the whole 10 topics rule and just, you know, go from there. But we'll see. But for now, I will see you guys soon for the next edition of the Sonic News Show. But for now, I will see you guys for now later. Have a great night, everyone. Hopefully the show kind of made your weekend looking good, and happy Memorial Day for all the fellow United States viewers. But we'll see. But for now, this is SSF saying I hate you, Microsoft. You're all soft, but I'm harder than you. Oh yeah. Oh baby. But anyway, take care, guys. Good night, everyone.